afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 11 of the Formula Sim Racing World Championship here from Monza, also known as the Temple of Speed. We are just moving to qualifying now, as the drivers are ready to set the grid for this afternoon's 53-lap race around the Temple of Speed. Joining me today is Dave Paling, and how are you today, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Just managed to recover after the pro race and looking forward to seeing how the WC guys get on around Monza. Hopefully should be a fantastic race, some unbelievable lap times to be put in as well. So hopefully, going to be a great race, this one.
And joining us on cameras is the one and only Felix van Delft.
Yeah, hi guys.
So we're just gone green on qualifying, and we shouldn't see too many early fast laps, more banker laps, and we should see the real fast times at the end of the session. So, Dave, I'm going to start it off pretty quickly. Who's your pick for pole?
You know what? It's not an easy one to call that. I think there's possibly 4 or 5 people that could get it. Kvakel's up there, Partington, Patel, Parisis, and obviously we've got I'm tempted to call him a newcomer, but he's not a newcomer, a returning driver, who obviously is going to get quite a few people's attention. So any one of those 5, it all depends on how the qualifying goes, because it's very easy to find yourself in a little bit of traffic here, or the slightest of mistake can see you, instead of putting a pole time in, put in a 6th, 7th position time in instead.
Kvakel was definitely, in practice anyway, he dominated the time, so I think he ended up 2/10 clear of Parlington from memory, as Danny van der Neet's going to be our first lap setter in that Brem GP car as he comes down into the first chicane now. So as they start their laps, and that was a messy for entry of the first chicane for Danny van der Neet. I'd have to say Kvakel, he looks like he's got some really good pace here, quality trim and race trim, so we'll see what happens over the next 18 minutes or so in terms of the story for pole position, as we have Danny van der Neet going purple, and then it getting taken away from him immediately by Jim Parisis with a 27.1. These are just banker laps, so these guys will be pushing, but because they'll want a decent banker lap, but they'll be pushing even harder in about 15 minutes time towards the end of the session, as van der Neet just coming through the Ascari chicane now. Just obviously some guys staying in the pit lane. The good thing about this qualifying format, Dave, being a 20-minute session, 4 flying, or 12 laps total, 4 flying laps if you get all of them right, it lowers the congestion a bit on the track, particularly early on in the session.
It definitely does, because you don't end up with a queue at the end of the pit lane waiting for the lights to go green. The drivers, as you said, they can get out there, they can get the banker laps in, as Parisis just has done with a 22.2. And then the drivers can pick and choose at what point they go out on the track. So rather than it being sort of a time limited, it's more a case of, right, where can I find a little bit of space on the circuit? Because that will benefit them more around here, I think, than perhaps trying to do a Ferrari style slipstream a teammate. But as you mentioned as well, obviously, in about 15 minutes time, the lap times will come down. But as the sectors come in, do you think we're going to see anybody getting into the 26s in Sector 1 and anywhere near the low 27s, Sector 2?
Depends, really. It depends on how much the track evolves, and I don't think anyone's running any wing low enough to hit the speeds needed to really do a 26 in the first sector, but they're currently low 22s. We're expecting a mid to high 21. I reckon a 21.5 will be pole personally. But again, it depends on how much they bring the times down later on in the session.
Yeah, it definitely does. Quakel, he's just started his lap. I mean, you mentioned there about no team will be running wings low enough to really get into the 26s in Sector 1. Now, looking at the top speeds, there is a variation of the speeds. Pretty much everybody is over 360 kilometres an hour, but then it varies from 361 to 365 at the moment. So obviously different wing levels are in effect. I mean, obviously, we don't know exactly what the drivers are using, as Quakel puts the 27.0 Sector 1 time in. A little bit tail happy on the exit of the first Lesmo. Missed the apex a bit on the second Lesmo, but we'll see how he gets on through Sector 2. Yeah, I mean, for yourself around here, would you go with a really, really low skinny wing, or would you keep a bit of wing for gaining the extra time through the corners?
It's Monza. I mean, you got 4 really long straights, so I think lower wing will benefit you more. I mean, you only really have 2 quick corners in Ascari and Parabolica, but you do have obviously the really big braking zones into the first 2 chicanes as Quaker comes across the line. Well, any question about the 21s has just been answered, because Quaker just did a 21.8 as a banker lap.
Yeah, if the track's going to rubber in, you know what, I think I might agree with your mid-28 or lower, mid-21 or lower, because if this track does rubber in nicely, then yeah, we're going to see those lap times drop quite quickly.
So just looking at who Camille Lees was, setting a personal best. He's already done 1 lap. This is his second flying lap now, so probably pushing a little bit more than he did in that first lap, as he comes up to the line now, and he does improve up to 4 with a 22.2.
Well, he's a driver that we might have to keep an eye on. The last couple of races that I've done commentary, especially at Hungary, he was definitely one of the exciting drivers to watch in that race. If he comes here with similar pace, I mean, he's done the 22.2, he said, if he comes here with that pace and that aggression and that quality of driving, he could find himself battling for the podium again.
I think as well, if Camille Lees does drive in the World Championship next year, he's going to be one to look out for the championship as well. He's got some very good talent that he's bringing to the table, and I think he's proven that in the short time he's been with us, that he is a very quick driver, and he's a very capable driver.
Okay, I'm watching Petr Breliak at the moment on an out lap, just getting himself ready to come through the Lesmos, get himself set up for a qualifying lap. Now, personally, I don't know too much about it, but I'm guessing, Daniel, you do, so maybe you can explain a little more about Breliak and his reappearance here at Monza. Or have I just dropped you in it?
You just dropped me in about a 5-meter deep pool. Not really. Obviously, the defending champion from last year, Petr Breliak, but is not racing full-time as such this year due to study commitments, real-life commitments. Real life obviously comes before SimRacing. It's just the way it is, I'm afraid. But he's come back because Daniel Kiss and friends and Pagazzi couldn't make this race, so he's decided to come and do a one-off in at the Italian Grand Prix, as he's just coming into the first chicane now on his first flying lap, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Obviously, he hasn't been doing much driving this year. It will turn to sim racing compared to some of these other guys. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
It's never easy, is it, to have a break and then come back, but looking at him through Sector 1, he's quite beautifully through Sector 1 there. See how he gets on through the Lesmos, quite nice and stable. The second Lesmo, get it into the apex, not quite touching the curb, but that's not too much of a problem as long as the speed's been carried. Get ready for DRS to be open nice and wide, and then get ready for Ascari. And as they mentioned in the Ace commentary yesterday, there's a horrible little bump in the middle of the right-hander of Ascari. See how he gets on with that. There's the bump. Looking nicely stable, using all of the curb. could be on for a good lap here. I think in warm-up, in practice, we saw him do about 22.6. If he can improve on that, he might find himself in the top 6, maybe.
Yeah, he's got two decent sectors. He's done a 27.2 and a 27.7, so it's about on par with what we've seen so far from the defending champion. He's gone P7 with a 22.3, so he's definitely improved on what he did in practice, and it's a pretty decent lap from our returning champion. Parlington's on 2 personal bests, and he's actually just coming out of Parabolica right now. See if he can improve dip into the 121. No, he can't. He had a slow last sector. I think most of the guys are on outlaps at the moment. We've got Martin Stefanko, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but was it a podium finish at the Hungaroring?
I think he got second place. I think he came out of nowhere and stole second place, as Felix just says, yeah. I mean, he is a driver, as Jerome said yesterday on the Ace broadcast, that he's sort of come in and grabbed everyone's attention. Everyone's watching this guy because he's quick. He's done a few Ace races, and as you say, yeah, podium in Hungary, and if he can continue that kind of driving here, he's a threat for the win. Definitely a threat for the win.
As he comes up to the line to finish this lap here, he moves up to P10 with the 22.5. It's all very close. The top 19 cars covered by second. The Krakel's actually got a nice comfortable gap though up the top with almost 3/10 of a second gap over Parlington. But I find it is Patel just jumps up actually out of nowhere to P2 with the 22.1, just 100th quicker than Mike Parlington. So that lap sort of came out of nowhere from Mohammed Patel. The winner last time out at the Hungaroring. He's got some good pace here as well, it seems.
Well, he was dominant at the Hungaroring. Just mention as well, Adam Maguire, he's coming around the Parabolica about to start a flying lap. He's sitting in for Kuba Brzezinski today. Kuba's had a bit of a disastrous week when it comes to technology. So Maguire's sitting in for him. Not had a lot of practice, but he's been given his orders by the team of what's expected from him. So we'll see how he gets on as he makes his way through Sector 1 and 2. He's currently sitting... Where is he sitting? He's in 12th place, but I mean, if he can find a couple of tenths, he can soon find himself jumping up to sort of 6th, 7th. See what Sector 1 time he does. Crosses the beacon. It's a 27.1 Sector 1, which is pretty good. I have just spotted as well that Quakel and Patel have got exactly the same Sector 1 time of a 27.084. Maguire then going through both Lesmos. Tricky little corners. That second one, it tempts you to take it so much faster than the cars really can handle it at times. And now down to Ascari for the second sector. Is he going to improve here? It does. He is up again. So another personal best sector. A little bit cautious through Ascari though by the looks of things. And now only one corner left. And a lot of people might think that this final sector, it's all about the straight here, the Parabolica and the straight after it. But Ascari obviously part of Sector 3. So if you get that wrong, you can have a terrible Sector 3. Twitchy a little bit around Parabolica, but across the line he's going to go. And where's that going to put him? It's only 10th place.
Very influential in the championship. The fact that Adam Maguire is in that car and not Kuba Brzezinski, considering Brzezinski is second in the championship, just 22 points behind Jerome Krakel, his teammate, but only 4 points ahead of Jim Paresis. So given Paresis finishes 8th or higher today, he will take second place in the championship away from Kuba Brzezinski. But obviously the main target will be on Jerome Krakel, and given the pace that Jerome's showed so far, it's not looking like anyone's even got a threat in him for the win today.
Well, they'll be looking at the times and thinking, okay, is he going to go quicker than that, or is that his best, or can I even get close to that? It will be in the drivers' minds. Blair Disley, he's just starting a flying lap. I've just seen David Greco cross the line as well. He stays in, well, it was 13th place, but he's been bumped down to 14th now, as I think Dejan Kostadinov or Christian Bufumo's just put a lap in. But Blair Disley, he was on similar pace to Lies were at Hungary. If he can do similar here again, I would expect him to get himself into the top 5 here, but he's down in Sector 1.
Yeah, I'm just watching Jong Quickle now as he's starting his third lap here. First turn looked good. Now coming to that second turn.
Briak's just up ahead of the actually. Krakel has done a 27.0. He's gone purple in the first set. I was just going to quickly mention that Briak's, who's just ahead of him on the roads, also done a 27.1 personal best through the first sector. So now we're starting to see what these guys can really do in terms of times, using every millimeter of track, using every inch, well, not every inch, but every little last burst of the car's performance. As Krakel's on 2 purples now as he comes out of the Ascari chicane down towards Parabolica. So we're going to have some really quick times. We've got Paresis improving, we've got Briliac improving, Parlington just improved with the purple sector through but stays third. What's Briliac going to do? Briliac moves up to 5th, and Krakel's
ran half an inch. You were on about inches. He ran half an inch too wide on the exit of the Parabolica. The grass grabbed him and said, you're going to come and have a chat with a few of these fans over here. Lap over.
Oh, Prix has just jumped up to P2 with the 22.1. But I said it in the pro broadcast, I'm going to say it again now. I am so happy we have grass and gravel around the outside of Parabolica. And it just makes Parabolica just that much harder of a corner. And now, like, if we had tarmac, Jerome would have just kept his foot in it then, and just driven pretty much off the track essentially. But since we got grass there, he's off the road.
I fully agree with you. 100%. I don't think could agree with you any more on that. I mean, grass and gravel, it causes the punishment. Going too wide should cost. And like I said, if it was tarmac there, you wouldn't even think about it. You'd probably purposefully run that a little bit wider so you can have your steering that little bit straighter and go that little bit quicker.
So Danny Van Den Eet's the only one on a decent lap at the moment. He's just coming up to the end of sector 2, the Ascari chicane. Now he's done a personal best in the first sector with a 27.2. He's very wide on the exit there of the Ascari chicane, and a bit of engine smoking, which might be an issue come the race. We'll see how it pans out. And there was a lot of understeer, very close to going off the road there actually was Danny Van Den Eet as he comes up to the line. Does he improve?
James Sadler, he's just gone purple sector 1.
Yeah, I just seen that as well. He's 11 hundredths away from a 26 in the first sector, so I don't think they're quite going to get that. We're really at the business end of this qualifying session now as Sadler comes out of Lesmo 2 down straight underneath the old banking that they used to use and into the Scottish chicane. He hasn't really kept it there through the second sector. It's not even a personal best, but still an okay second sector. See what he can bring it up to as he comes into the Parabolica.
Yeah, his car is smoking a little bit in the second sector, so probably the temperature is gonna drop a bit during the race because we are using live weather, so time in Italy is also getting to the evening, so temperature's dropping, but not able to really improve. Stays in nice place.
Sadler did improve, but he's a thousandth of a second off George Manasakis in the second Mad Cape car, which is unfortunate for James because that's his qualifying session done. That's all his laps. Actually, quite a few drivers have completed all their laps. Prix, Patel, Manasakis, Sadler, Perfumi, Saxon, Van Den Eet, and Valeriano have all completed their laps. So Paresis and Patel will be hoping that Parlington, Briliac, Ivanov, and Liza doesn't improve that much because there's not a lot separating these 5-6 cars.
No, certainly not. That is, of course, also something of Monza. It is really close here.
I've just finished his final lap and moved up to P5. Actually did a purple sector 3, which is quite interesting, I find. Anyway,
we've got Stefanko just about to start a flying lap, and then a few hundred metres behind him we've got Quakel also about to start a flying lap, so might want to keep an eye on either one of those two.
Well, Briliac's already on his lap. He's coming through Lesmo 2 now, and he's pulled out of that lap, so never mind. So Stefanko's coming through, Quakel. So they've both left it as late as they can. There's only 5 seconds left in the session now, so time is up. Parlington isn't really improving. He's done a 27.2 in the first sector. He's just coming out of Lesmo 2 now. See if he can find just 0.02 of a second on his 22.14. He'll move from 4th to 2nd. But it's not a personal best for his second sector either. He's going to have a barnstormer of a final sector to take second place away from Jim Paresis.
Quakel has given up, by the way. Very slacky first sector, so no improvement for him inbound. But let's watch Stefanko indeed.
Stefanko's been very, very scruffy through sector 2. Sector 1 wasn't great, a 27.2. Sector 2, I think it was a personal best for him, but as I said, it was very scruffy as he heads into the Parabolica, whacking that steering lock on, avoiding the edge of the track like it's the plague. And across the line, is he going to improve from 13th? He does, to 10th place.
So Liza's the only one left to complete a lap. He hasn't done any personal best in the first 2 sectors. See what he does as he comes up to the line, and he doesn't improve and will stay P7. So we now have a grid for our Italian Grand Prix here from Monza, round 11 of the of the Formula Sim Racing World Championship. Jerome Quakel grabbing pole from Jim Paresis, Mohammed Patel, Mike Parlington, and Victor Ivanov rounding out the top 5. Dave,
yes, sorry to undercut you there. I just saw for a moment Kamil Leidzwa DQ'd. He did 13 laps actually. I don't know if he just came out of the pits one too many times or he did 1 lap too many.
He may have. It could be either. As soon as you cross that pit lane line, it counts that lap. So, but yeah, if he's gone on to a 13th lap, it would be a disqualification from qualifying, which would put him right at the back of the field.
Yeah. I don't know where he was initially, or I think around 5th.
7th. He was 7th.
Yeah, he may have been. When I took a screenshot, it had already changed. Something you were saying, Felix, was how close it was in qualifying. Quakel with a 121.8, 2.5 tenths to Jim Paresis, but the top 18 drivers all within a second of each other around here. That's pretty good going. The top 10, 11, they're all within half a second.
I think the other major thing, Dave, the top 2 on the grid, what could possibly be after this race, the top 2 in the championship. So this could be a very interesting race, as well as you got Patel there, you got Parlington there, and also Peter Briliac, P6 on his return to the series. Pretty good going considering how much he hasn't been driving this year.
Yeah, talking about the championship, by the way, I don't know if one of you two guys could quickly take us through how the standings are at the moment.
Well, we got Quakel on 135 points from Brzezinski, who isn't here today, as Dave mentioned in the qualifying session, on 113. Jim Paresis on 109. He's on a pretty good run at the moment, is Jim Paresis, since we came back from the summer break. He's had a win and a podium. Daniel Kiss, he's not here again today. He's 4th with 96 points, and his teammate Francesco Bigazzi in 5th on 88 points. Mohammed Patel, who is here, is on 85 points. Journey Samicic, who isn't here, is 7th with 83 points. Eros Mashuli 8th. Michele D'Alessandro 9th. And Mike Parlington rounds out our top 10 in the championship. And in the teams championship, I'm not sure if you got those, Felix, but in the teams championship, we have Origin Front Row Racing with a huge lead over Thrustmaster Twister Racing, I should say. 256 to 209, and then an even bigger gap again back to VB Madcape, who are on 122 from Ghost Speed, who are on 101, and then we got Avid Chronic Racing, who have been on a bit of a surge in the last couple of races, with Martin Stefanko moving up into 5th with 74 points. So we've still got 7 minutes left in the warm-up session, and then we'll be away for 53 laps of racing. Dave, is there anyone really that you could put forward other than Jerome Crakel for the win?
You know what, it's difficult. Going from past experience at Hungary, Patel was dominant in qualifying, he was dominant in the race. Crakel has been dominant in qualifying here, could be dominant in the race. But having said that, the drivers' setups, if they've got their setup aimed a little bit more towards the race, then that gap could come down. You just don't know, because there is such a difference between how these cars handle with hardly any fuel in it compared to full fuel, and where the drivers are going to be able to use boost, who will be affected by dirty air, and also who might make a bit of a mistake. All of those factors coming in, I think it's going to be difficult for anyone to beat Quakel here, and I've just commentators cursed him. But, yeah, Patel, I think, has a chance. I do think he's got a chance. He's got the ability, he's got the speed, he just needs to try and find it in race.
I think Quakel has to be the favourite, but choosing who could sort of spoil the afternoon, it's very difficult, because in behind that they're tight, they're very close, because you got Parlington, Patel, Paresis, even Ivanov, that they were all so close in qualifying. It's gonna come down really into strategy, and not so much strategy in terms of tyres, but also strategy in how much wing all these guys are running. Because I mean, higher wings is going to give you a slight advantage in qualifying, but lower wings is probably more the racy way to go. So we'll see what happens in the race, and see who's running what wings. Going off the speed trap in warm-up so far, they're all around the 340 mark, maxing out. Proto's got a 354k an hour speed trap, but I mean, Crakel's actually got 350, so Crakel may actually be running a little less wing, and if he's done that time in qualifying with less wing than everyone else, he deserves to win.
Well, I mean, it's interesting you mentioned about strategy as well, though, because another part that comes into the strategy, if Quakel he gets himself a little bit of a gap, if everybody else pushes too hard to catch him, they will destroy their tyres, they'll destroy their strategy. So for the drivers, they kind of need to work out a strategy that allows them to push for as much of the race as possible, without costing themselves too much time. It's a very tricky balance to find. If you lead in a race, it can quite often be a lot more of a comfortable situation. But, I mean, we can only wait and see how these guys are getting on. I mean, we could be looking at 2 stops, possibly. We could be looking at 3 stops. I think 3 will be the way most will go, because going for a 2-stop, you just have to look after your tyres a little bit too much. And the time you lose from doing that, I think it'll just put you under threat.
It is a long pit lane delta here, though. You got to remember that it's as opposed to last race at the Hungaroring, where it was a 16-second delta roughly. It's a 21-second delta here, so it is a longer pit lane, but a 2-stop is very, very marginal. Even a 3-stop is half marginal. It wouldn't surprise me if we see someone try and 4-stop it. Because a 3-stop's really only possible by running the option tyre once and then primes to the end. But we'll see what happens. I sense someone's going to try and run a 2-stop, and I sense someone's going to try and run a 4-stop. But as you said, the call of the order will probably mainly be 3 stops today.
Yep. And I think it is time for us to take a little break here at Warmup. I'm going to show you a little Thrustmaster ad. Of course, Thrustmaster, the main sponsor of our league. And yeah, we will be back just after the end of Warmup.
Welcome back everyone to Monza for round 11 of the Formula SimRacing World Championship Series. The drivers are just lining up on the grid now for their formation lap here for the 53 lap race that will follow here at the Temple of Speed. We'll go through your grid for you. On pole position as they set off for the formation lap is the championship leader Jerome Crakel. Starting alongside him will be Jim Paresis for VB Madcape. Third place Mohammed Patel, racing for Twister, not Musto Racing today. Mike Parlington starting in 4th position. Victor Ivanov will be starting from 5th. Peter Bruliak will be starting from 6th. George Manasakis on his return to the series will be starting from 7th. James Sadler will be starting in 8th. Martin Stefanko, after 2 awesome performances in Spa and the Hungaroring, he'll start from 9th. Adam Maguire filling in for Cooper Brzezinski. He will start from 10th and round out our top 10. Dion Konstantinov for the who knows how many time this season will start from P11. It must be his favourite starting position. Christian Bafumu, an ace driver, making his first appearance, I believe, in the World Championship this year, will start from 12th. John Eric Saxon for Born to Win will start in 13th. David Greco will start in 14th. Blair Disley will start in 15th. Martin Hodas in 16th. Danny van der Neet in 17th. Lucas Smith, making his World Championship debut, will start in 18th. Gordano Valeriano will start in 19th. Leopold Giro will start in 20th, and as a result of that disqualification and qualifying, Camille Liza will line up in 21st. We've also got 2 pit lane starters. We've got Michele D'Alessandro and Giamelio Prieto starting in also in the pit lane, of course. So a pretty full grid for World Championship. We haven't seen 23 cars on the grid for a little while now, Dave, so it's good to see.
It's been a while, and I must admit, I love your pronunciation of Guillermo Prieto.
It was, yeah, I'm an Australian, I don't speak European, I'm sorry.
It's okay, we'll let you off. But okay, yeah, I mean, we're on for a cracking race here. The drivers are just, I'm looking at the last couple of drivers here. Camille Liza coming out of the Parabolica now. Quite a long wait for the leaders at the start here, as the 2 guys make their way down the pit lane as well. And the start here is going to be so vital, absolutely vital up at the front.
Hopefully it'll be a nice clean start in the midfield as well. We saw a relatively clean start in the pro race earlier on, as we had 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're racing here at Monza. Jim Paris has got an absolute stormer of a start. So did Mohammed Patel from 3rd on the grid. It looks like Paris has the track position over Quakel as they come into the first chicane. Quakel's gone really deep into the first chicane and he's had to cut as a result. So it looks like he'll have to give those positions back. So we're going to have Paris leading from Quakel or Patel. It's going to be close because Quakel's alongside Patel now. Actually, Quakel's having a look at Paris as well as they come into the second chicane. Patel's going to hold around the outside, just give Jerome just enough room on the exit of the second chicane, and then hold the inside into Lesmo 1, but can Quakel keep it around the outside? The answer to that question is no, as they come into the second Lesmo now. So it's Paris, Patel, Quakel, Parlington, Breliak, Ivanov, Stefanko, Manasakis, Maguire, and Kostadinov rounding out your top 10. Our James Sadler's actually already been retired from the race, so that's unfortunate.
His card disappeared as Quakel, trying to make a move through a scar. He's got the inside on the final part. What a move that was, but Patel will have a good run on him, but so will Breliak and Partington, who are eyeing him up behind. Quakel now with the inside line. This could get interesting into the final corner, but no, they all hold position. But yeah, James Sadler, his car disappeared just as the light sort of went green. Made it very interesting for a few of the drivers around him as they took avoiding action.
Paresis has gone on the first lap. He's opened a 1.2 lead over this 4-car train for second as they come into the first chicane. Stefanko, Manasakis, side by side. There's a 2x2 train. You've got Maguire and Kostadinov in the background as there. Kostadinov's got the better of Maguire, Manasakis, and Stefanko still going side by side now through Curva Grande and into the second chicane. Stefanko comes across, Manasakis goes to the other side, but has to settle for 8th position. Who was that? Giro's off the track.
There's about 5 cars. There's about 5 cars involved in the collision there. If Felix is able to have a quick look at a replay of that one, it looked like it could have been quite bad.
Yeah, Liza's got no front wing. Neither does D'Alessandro.
Let's see what happened.
So
seems that Liza just ran wide going into Lesmo 1, or... Yeah, wow, he's even lost his wheel now. Oh, that's even... Oh, that wasn't even a replay. Wow. GG. Let's see what really happened. Liza, what happened to you? Here we go. They were coming into turn 1. Liza were braking pretty late. The blue car in front. Ooh, it began all with the car of... Who is that? That is the car of... the black car of... originally Conti. Let's see. Go back to live. I think that's Giordano Valeriano spun around in turn 1, and then it just caused a chain reaction. Liza losing some front wing, and everybody getting involved a bit. And as I switch back, Adam Maguire having a touch with the guy in front.
He's lost a lot of ground as a result. John Eric's Hassan just gone by him for 13th. It looks like Lucas Smith might have a look for P14. It depends. Can he hold around the outside? No, he can't. John Eric's Harrison just went straight through. Looks like he just outbroke himself into the second chicane. Now he's going to lose a position to Maguire and maybe Schmidt as well, and he does. Don't think Disley's going to be able to take advantage of that mistake though from the Finn. As we go back up to the front, that already the gap sort of stabilising between Paresis and Quakel at the front of the field. You got Patel half a second back, and it's sort of a line then with Parlington, Breliak, Ivanov, Stefanko, Mersakas, and Kostadinov, even Greco. Greco's made a good start. He's up to 10th. He was started down 12th or 13th. But Kostadinov and Greco both starting on the prime tyre and inside the top 10. That could be key later on in the race.
It definitely could be. Somebody who's tried a different tyre is Michele D'Alessandro. It could have just been a glitch, but it looked like he came back out of the pits to repair it after he'd repaired his damage on a set of intermediate tyres. And if there's one thing that it isn't at the moment, that is it isn't raining. So D'Alessandro pulled over and retired the car. Either that or, like I say, it was a glitch and just too much damage for him.
So we've had 3 DNS already. We have Sadler, Liza and D'Alessandro all out of the race. 20 cars still running. Paris is now starting to just open up that gap a little bit. It's up to 1.7 now. He opened up 2 tenths on Quakel the previous lap. Actually, it seems that Quakel's running less wing because he's actually pulled in 2 tenths so far this lap. He pulled in 2 tenths in the first sector. Won't surprise me if... Quakel's matched Paresis through the second sector, so it's still 1.7, but Paresis getting a bit squirmy through the middle of the Scottish chicane and coming under a bit of pressure from Patel now that DRS will be active as they come around Parabolica and down the front straight for the 4th time.
Now, something that you said in the warm-up was about Paresis and being a title contender and being able to jump Brzezinski in this race on the standings, but also with him being ahead of Quakel.
Sorry to undertake you. Here comes Patel on Quakel for second place into the first chicane. Textbook move by Mohammed Patel. If he can keep it on the track, and he does. Oh, he shoves Quakel off a bit, and now Quakel's vulnerable to Parlington. Will he be able to hold on though? Those lower wings will help through this part of the circuit, but it won't help in this next sector that they're coming up to. And it looks like Quakel's just going to hold on for now.
I'm going to see if I can get a replay of that overtake from Mohammed Patel. I just missed it a little bit, if we may. Yeah, here we go. Mohammed Patel on the straight. He's got a really good slipstream on Quakel. Then just goes up the inside and brakes later even, so Quakel tries to do a switchback kind of, but there's not enough room, and Patel just squeeze him a little bit on the outside there.
Good clean racing from the pair of them. Actually, fastest lap of the race at the moment has actually gone to Martin Stefanko in 7th with a 1:25.828. It shows you the use of the draft and the DRS. As we come up to complete lap 5 of this Grand Prix. Paris is out to over a 2-second lead now over Patel from Quakel and Parlington. Now, well, is Parlington close enough to have a look? He won't be, because Quakel's also got DRS from Patel. So now Patel drives the train from 2nd down to 8th with Manasakis just holding onto the back of this train. As actually, the Stefanko is looking rather rather racy here against Victor Ivanov. I don't think he's going to be close enough for the second chicane, but he is actually really close to the back, and he's having a look, but he's not going to be close enough.
Watch Blair Dishley and Lucas Schmidt battling quite hard, coming into turn 2 now. Really, really tight racing there. Now Blair also needs to watch out for Adam Maguire. He will be trying to make a look here, coming up to the Lesmos. Adam Maguire having a bit of dirty air now, running onto the gravel there a little bit. That cost him for sure.
It's definitely not going to help his tyres having that much understeer. It looks like I don't think Disley's going to be quite close enough to Schmidt for an overtake into the Scotty chicane. It's very hard to overtake. There's not much of a braking zone compared to the first and second chicanes. It's what's happening. It's sort of everyone's at a stalemate at the front of the field at the moment. We've got Greco and Costadino, both the two prime runners, running 9th and 10th, looking like they're going to start their own little battle. I don't think Greco is going to be quite close enough here at the end of the front straight, and he's not. As this battle for 14th is great. As here comes Disley now to the outside of Schmidt. Will he be able to get it done? Yes, he will. Very good move. And Adam Maguire trying to take an opportunity as that. Actually, Schmidt got really good traction out of the first chicane there, and now going to repass Disley for 14th, but Disley will hold on to the outside here through Curva Grande and into the second chicane. Now will Disley be able to hold on to 14th? And he does. Very nice driving from all three of them there.
Yeah, epic battle forming here. I'm guessing it might not be over yet between Maguire and Schmidt.
It looks like Maguire took a lot more mid-corner speed through the second Lesmo there, and he's very close, but Smith's going to have a slipstream and DRS from Disley ahead, and Maguire not quite close enough to take advantage of the DRS into the Ascari chicane. Looks like actually Maguire might be running a little bit more wing than the ACR car in front of him. As actually the gap at the front's come down a little bit.
It has come down a bit. Patel is catching Parisis and he's bringing everybody else along with him.
So yeah, it's Patel was 2/10 faster on the previous lap than Parisis, and Ivanov down in 6th place did the fastest lap of the race with a 25.782. They're sort of starting to drop Stefanko and Manasakis a little bit. They're sort of on the borderline of DRS range of Ivanov now. And Ivanov, this is a good showing for their Aventa car. The Aventa team haven't had the best of luck this season, so it's really good seeing one of their cars up and fighting for a possible podium at this stage.
Lucas Schmidt, he's coming under a lot of pressure from Adam Maguire. He's nearly giving him a little bit of a tap up the rear. It's almost like they say, come on, speed up a bit, speed up. He may actually be close enough to have a go for an overtake into Ascari, because I don't think Lucas Schmidt's going to have DRS here, but Maguire will. Let's see if he moves to the inside. He does. He's going to go for it. Not an easy move to do, but with a DRS it does help to get ahead, and it's in the end a fairly easy move, but now he's going to have to push it hard out of Ascari. Because he's kind of gifted Lucas Schmidt DRS down the main straight.
If he's running more wing though, he'll be able to really pull out a gap through Parabolica here, especially since Schmidt will have the dirty arrows. He has a massive wobble, does Adam Maguire, through the middle of Parabolica, and it looks like he may just have enough of a gap to be able to hold on. We'll see as they come into the first chicane now. And he does. Maguire will hold on to 15th place for now from the ACR car. And it's sort of... this race is already throwing up so many different things. It's sort of stalemate at the front because Prix pulled another 10th on Patel that last lap around. And then everyone's just up behind Patel. You've got Quaker, Parlington, Briliak, Ivanov, Stefanko, all Manasakis, all in a line, all in a train, in behind the Twister car in 2nd place. And then you got a bit of a gap back to Greco and Kostanov. But these two, as I said at the start, on those prime tyres, it could be very key to see where these two end up later on in the race. They've really opened up their options for a two-stop. We'll see if they can actually pull it through, though.
Well, we saw at Hungary guys starting on the prime tyre. I think it was Paresis and Bigazzi started on the prime tyre then. I may have got one of those wrong. And they ended up pretty much fighting for the podium, and they qualified out of the top 10, I think. So it will be interesting to keep an eye on where Kostadinov ends up, as I think Bufumu is into the pit. So he's the first to pit. And I was going to say, we're not far away from the pit window. I wouldn't expect any of the leading 7 cars to pit for another lap or two, but the pit stop window could become crucial up at the front here.
So Bufumi's going to rejoin in 19th, just behind Valeriano, just ahead of Felipe Giro. So he's the first of our front runners to make a somewhat scheduled pit stop, and he's gone onto the prime tyre. So we'll see. That sets off a chain reaction as Patel's pulling in Paresis, and he's just outside the RS range at the moment, and if he gets within the RS range, that could make this race very interesting.
Yeah, Paresis is definitely struggling on his tyres. He's dropping lap time at a rate of about 0.2 a lap at the moment. Let's see what's Patel doing. Patel, he's actually... he's lapping similar to Paresis, but looks like he may still have some pace in those tyres.
So do any of our top 8 pit? The answer will be Viktor Ivanov. He actually lost a position to Martin Stefanko, so he's obviously, his tyres have obviously gone off, and he's pitting, as is Danny van der Neet in the background. So we'll see what tyres Ivanov will go on to. Another set of super softs for the adventure driver. Now this should set off a chain reaction within that top 8. In saying that though, the undercut, as we saw in the pro race, isn't that major here.
No, it doesn't have as big of an effect. Adam Maguire going onto the soft tyre. It's a long stop. It's a very long stop. Oh, he had to wait. Maguire just had to let Martin Hodas pass, who was also on the soft tyre. So a bit of a misfortune there from Maguire. But yeah, the undercut, not very effective around this track, unless the cars that are still rotating the circuit, their tyres go off big time. If they do, they can lose a second and a half a lap, and that's where you get the benefit of an undercut.
That's a jump as well for Hodas in the pit lane. He was behind Maguire when they came in. I thought Quaker might have been close enough to have a look at Patel there into the Scottish chicane, but he wasn't. So let's see, now that Ivanov's made his stop, has it set off a chain reaction at the top of the tree? Paresis will come in, so let's see who else. Patel in, Crakel stays out, as does Parlington and Brilliant.
Partington's close. Partington's really close here. DRS will be open now, but Quakel will have DRS. Partington's going for it. Quakel goes defensive, and Partington ends up backing out of it. That was a good chance to get past then. Not able to do it.
Very aggressive defending there for Jerome Quakel on Mike Parlington's. Paresis comes out in clean air. Patel, Stefanko, Manasakis as Ivanov. Can Ivanov get past Stefanko? This is going to be tight as they come into the first chicane. Ivanov's got warm tyres and he's going to have track position only just, and Ivanov will take what is currently 8th place.
Well, Martin is not giving up.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's got good straight line speed in that ACR car. Will he be able to hold it in the braking zone though around the outside? And he does. That's a brilliant piece of driving from Martin Stefanko. But here comes Ivanov back on the inside for Lesmo 1. Will he be able to? Yes. Very good move from Viktor Ivanov, reading the situation perfectly and undercutting Martin Stefanko beautifully.
Maguire's managed to get back ahead of Martin Hodas, so he's now pulling out a little bit of a gap. Lost a bit of time.
Sorry, yep. Stefanko now coming back at Viktor Ivanov, and a very good move there from Martin Stefanko, and it's actually brought George Manasakis into this, as Crakel's stayed out again, as Parlington and Briliak have both come in, but Crakel stayed out another lap.
The lap times he's doing at the moment could be crucial. I'll keep an eye on those.
So as Partington and Brilliant come back out, and they're going to come out in 6th and 7th in between Patel and Stefanko. And Ivanov is not done with Stefanko. He's all over him as Manasakis is there as well, just waiting in the wings, seeing what these two do as well. This is developing into a great battle for 8th. So at the moment then, and actually the first lap he's led all race is during Quakel, was the previous lap, lap 12, from Greco and Kostadinov, who are on those prime tyres, and then Paresis, who's the first of our stoppers, currently in 4th. So we'll see if Quakel is going to pit in this time around. And I wonder if Crakel's trying to stretch this just a bit to try and two-stop. Because he's not stopping again, so he's slowly just dragging himself into the window.
Sorry to cut you off. 12th and 13th, Valeriano trying to defend. Ooh. No, he's trying to make a move. Go on.
That Van der Neat almost went into the back of, and then he has gone into the back of Valeriano in the middle of this Scottish chicane. It's brought Disley into this battle as well. Ken sort of status quo as they all come down towards Parabolica. Here comes the Van der Neat going to the outside, inside into Parabolica. Oh, Valeriano, can he hold it on the inside? He'll have DRS because the detection point is before the corner, not after it. So now Van der Neat will get DRS right now, and actually no, it's Valeriano that has DRS. Van der Neat must have had track position on the entrance to the Parabolica. It's Van der Neat. Oh, he's not really giving him much room, and he returns the favour. Look at Disley. Disley's just trying to get a gap, and Van der Neat somehow holds on to 13th as Disley's now looking for P14.
Yeah, amazing battle here.
Yeah, as Valeriano does hold on to 14th there, and Disley. Oh, Valeriano and actually Smith now looking at Disley as Disley looks at Valeriano. This is pretty chaotic stuff here for P14 as now Disley to the inside. No way through there as now Smith will look. Actually, Smith's got to defend from Maguire here. This is awesome racing with Jerome Quakel's in the pit lane while all this is happening as Disley's gone past on Valeriano and Kostadinov from third on the prime tyre. He's also in, so he couldn't make the soft tyre last. So he'll have to go to a 3-stop now for sure.
Quakel has lost a lot of positions there. I think that's Stefanko trying to go around the outside of him as Quakel's on the soft tyre. It's close. Need to give each other enough room there. And it looks like Stefanko just about has managed to. But with the super soft tyre on, he may be able to hang it around the outside. But it's dirty out there. There isn't a lot of grip. And Quakel just manages to stay ahead. He's trying to defend it into the chicane. Manages to do so. But he has lost 2 or 3 more places there, but as you mentioned, Daniel, he could be going for a 2-stop.
Yeah, he's definitely on the right tyre to try and 2-stop this, so if he is on a 2-stop, it would probably see him in around lap 33, so only time will tell what sort of strategy Jerome Quakel is on and whether it will work, because as you said, Dave, he's lost quite a bit of track position now to Jim Paresis, and he's about 5 seconds back, which will slowly increase since Paresis has that super soft tyre on. As now Greco doing another lap. So Quakel may actually use Greco here as sort of a reference as to how far into the race he can get these soft tyres. So if Greco can go another 3 or 4 laps, Quakel may just go for the 2-stop.
He's going to come under some pressure though. He's got 4 cars behind him, all on the 3 cars behind him, all on the super soft tyre. DRS. Here comes Stefanko. Quakel goes defensive, making Stefanko go around the outside again. and covers him off quite nicely on that occasion. But yeah, I mean, this is a crucial point. As I said, you might use Greco as a benchmark of how long the tyres will go. And I'm trying to work out where Greco would come back into this pack. I think Greco, if he was to pit now, he'd come back out in 9th place, in between 9th and 10th at the moment. But he's losing about a second a lap on lap time at the moment to Paresis, is Greco.
It's also going to affect the 3 guys behind, Stefanko, Ivanov and Manasakis, since they're still running the 3-stop strategy, presumably. Having Critical in front of them on a potential 2-stop is not going to help their cause at all. Not only are they losing time in the long run to Critical, but also to Briliac, Parlington, Patel, Paresis, all ahead of them. And maybe even Greco. If Greco can, as I said, stretch it, he'll be able to do a 2-stop as well, and he's well and truly in this race. As he pits.
Oh, well,
dear,
commentators messed that one up, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
Easily done though. I mean, the other thing for the guy stuck behind Quaker on those super soft tyres, the longer they're stuck behind him, the more damage those tyres are going to take. And even if one of them can get past him, he may have the opportunity to re-attack with DRS. I'm just looking, Disley and Schmidt and Van der Neet are still quite close together. And
yeah, it looks like Disley's going to go around the outside of Van der Neet here into the first chicane, and Van der Neet's very late on the brakes, and he's gonna hold on to 13th because he went so late on the brakes. But in saying that, Disley's gonna have better traction off the first chicane, and let's see if he can mount an attack into the second chicane as they come through Curva Grande now, as he's looking to the inside now. Can Disley do it? No, Van der Neet's very deep, but keeps it on the road somehow and holds on to 13th.
Okay, a little bit of info for you. Felipe Giro, he is out of the race. I've not been able to find out yet what the cause of that was. But Mohamed Pertel is only six tenths of a second.
Disley had a major overspin moment out of Lesmo 2, now lost the position to Lucas Schmid and also to Adam Maguire now. So
that's cost the Australian 2 positions as a result, and Pareto isn't too far behind either. He started from the pit lane, so that's actually quite a good effort from Pareto. Scott Hodas and Valeriano rounding out the field as Patel. Now, this is key. Patel is in DRS range of Jim Paresis. The race is on. As well as Parlington's there as well. Briliac's just sort of dropped off the back a little bit of these top 3. He's about 1.3 seconds off the back of Parlington at the moment. And then you got that 4-car train for 5th behind Quakel. And he's holding on. These soft tyres are holding on really well in terms of track position. He's actually pulled out a little bit of a gap over Stefanko now, as they're probably going to start scrobbling amongst themselves. Manasakis looks close to the back of Ivanov, or he did at the exit, but he got a bad run out of Lesmo 2, so it's sort of starting to string out a little bit, and Quakel's holding on to 5th rather nicely.
He definitely is. That battle, 13th down to 16th, or 17th, that's still going strong. But something else to keep an eye on as well is obviously guys that started on the Super Softs and have put Super Softs on again, they're going to be pitting again in about 4 or 5 laps time, and the key will be that gap between Paresis and Quakel, with Quakel being on the soft compound tyre. That's going to mix this whole race on its head, that is.
Well, if he keeps it to within, as the delta is about 21 seconds, so if he keeps the gap between himself and Paresis under 21 seconds, he's well and truly within a shout of winning this race, without doubt. The problem that
going for a overtake on Danny van der Niet. Sorry to undercut you there, Daniel.
It's all good. It looks like Maguire got really bad traction now. The first chicane there, so it looks like
Lucas Schmidt. Lucas Schmidt. He's got a good run out of the chicane on Blair Disley, I think it is. He's got the racing line as well as Disley goes defensive, and the side by side up ahead as well. That's close. that's cars facing the wrong direction. It's all gone wrong then for Danny Van Der Neet and Adam Maguire. Oh my days! I thought Danny Van Der Neet was going to have a head-on collision then.
Oh, they make contact on rejoining Danny Van Der Neet. Let's see if I can get a replay of that incident with Adam Maguire and Van Der Neet. Adam Maguire wanting to go to the inside. Then they both lock up the wheels a bit, and there's just a little too less room for Maguire on the inside. Let's see if I can get another angle of that from Danny Van Der Neet's car. He just is a little too little room. Then they both spin around. Luckily, most of the guys behind them get around cleanly. Ooh, Van Der Neet indeed almost having a head-on collision there. And when he rejoined, they again made contact with Maguire. Wow.
That could have been a very messy accident with 5 cars involved, so they were all very lucky there. But it looked like to me that Maguire just came from a little too far back, as now he's having another go this time around to the first chicane, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. And actually they got Martin Hodas just ahead of them, as well as Patel closing in on the lead. Last lap he was a 1,000th quicker than
what's happened to
then,
Patel?
Oh, Patel's cars just disappeared.
The Patel just
What's happened?
he must have
lagged
had
backwards down into third place.
so it's not the first time we saw it at Spain with Felipe Giro in the pro race. Just Partington wasn't so lucky, or was more lucky I should say, than Chris de Jong, and didn't get exploded. But I think Patel might have just had a synchronization with the server, and that would have cost him half a second, and it's cost him a position in the end.
Wow. Very unfortunate for him. But maybe Mike Partington will be able to challenge Jim Paris a bit more. We don't know, let's see. But yeah, Quickle's still going strong, setting personal bests lap after lap, I believe.
And he was 2/10 quicker than Paris's that time, that lap around. So I wonder if everyone else has made a bit of a blunder here, and Quakel's just pulled the magic strategy from nowhere.
Yeah, but Stefanko behind him is also keeping quite close with him. He of course is on that other strategy, as you mentioned.
Well, we're getting very, very close now to the second round of pit stops. Quakel, he's on his 6th lap on those soft tyres. This is going to shape up very, very interesting. As you mentioned, a few of these drivers may be sat there thinking to themselves, or talking to their engineers, thinking, have we made the wrong decision here? And I'm sure their engineers will be going, no, I don't think so. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, well, see what happens. Even the guys that at the front that went to options, I find is interesting, because I thought you would have needed three sets of primes to get to the end.
Yeah, Ivanov.
Stefanko and Ivanov in. So right on the money, Dave, with the second round of pit stops. So I'll be interested to see what tyres they go to here. And it's the prime tyres for Stefanko, and it's the same for Ivanov.
I would hope that was a sort of decision between driver and engineer there. Perhaps the driver saying, look, I'm getting held up by the guy ahead of me on the soft tyres. We need to do something.
They haven't really... Oh, Stefanko, this could be key. And he does. He just gets out ahead of Blair Disley. But Ivanov will have to clear Disley pretty quickly if he doesn't want him to affect the race too much, because he's lost a bit of time to Stefanko as a result. So who else was... It was Menesakis, so it wouldn't surprise me if George Menesakis pits this lap as well. In saying that, there's a bit of a gap between Quakel and Menesakis, but I think he's got to respond to the other two drivers.
Paresis is under a bit of pressure from Partington, but also for those guys that have just pitted, if there's one battle they would not have wanted to come out into, it would have been the Disley and followers battle, because that's been very exciting, but also a little bit treacherous for a few of the drivers. Partington got a good run here, might not be close enough, depends what his top speed's going to be like. I think he may have a look. He's going to have a look. Is he going to go up the inside? He does.
No.
And backs out of it.
Paresis went deep. Paresis broke very deep into the first chicane. He almost went off the road. He only just kept it on. Harlington used that to an advantage as they come through Grove Grande into the second chicane. Paresis is going to defend. Here comes Parlington, but he's not going to be able to do it around the outside there.
These two battling, it's going to close up all of the cars behind them. Patel, Briliac, they'll have a bit more of a chance of having an eye in on this battle, but I do think that Paresis, I've got a feeling he'll be in this lap. I think he might have to. With the time he's losing on these tyres, he may have to be the first to make that call rather than be the one that's undercut.
Well, Craig, just keeping an eye on Craigl as well. He's fit. He's just in the background, 5 seconds off the lead, but potentially a pit stop ahead. If this strategy works out, they've worked absolute wonders at Origin front row. If they're running a 2-stop and it works, as Parlington gets a lot of understeer on the entrance to Parabolica, then are we going to see Paresis in? Yes, we are. Are we going to see we see Patel follow, but Briliac stay out as Manasakis also pits.
I think the only way these guys may be able to sort of challenge Quakel here is to put prime tyres on and then run option at the end, or, as Patel has done, another set of options and then the primes at the end.
Yeah, they've both put on the options. Manasakis went out on the prime, as he's going to come out behind the two drivers he was racing. He may actually come out behind Blair Drizzly as well. And he is, which he'll want to clear him immediately, as Blair Drizzly actually got really bad traction out of the first chicane there. He's Manasakis around the outside now through Curva Grande, and he's going to head the inside into the second chicane and should be able to secure 10th place, and does so.
Lucas Schmid, by the way, having a very, very bad pit stop, I believe. Dropping down all the way to P18. Or it might be me just saying something that's not true, but...
He was ahead of Valeriano before, so...
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, here we go. Parlington in, Briliac in, and Craighill will resume as the race leader. And Greco's going to be close enough here to take P2, or a net P2, and Kostadinov will go through the P3 as well. Briliac's done something different. Briliac's gone onto the prime tyre, whereas the other three being Paresis, Partington, and Patel.
Mike Partington.
And Patel's jumped him. Jumped Mike. So Patel is back to 5th in behind Paresis, where he was a couple of laps ago. Before that, assumably, slight internet glitch, but he's back ahead of the Brem GP car now. So what does Jerome Craighill do? What does David Greco do? Kostanov's on a slightly different strategy. He's on the super soft tyres. He goes really wide on the exit of the second Lesmo. But these three drivers, Craighill, Greco and Kostanov, have all put themselves in very good positions.
Well, Greco still hasn't ran the super soft tyre yet, but he only got 16 laps out of the softs at the start of the race. So will we see him in lap 31, 32? He's going to have to hope not, because he's going to have to go longer than that to be able to just run the one set of super softs at the end. For Briliac, him going onto the soft tyre now is not a bad decision, because he's been able to keep pace with the cars ahead of him. If he can still keep close enough to them, if he does go onto the super softs again, he'll have an advantage, because Paresis and Patel and Partington ahead of him, I believe, all still have to run the prime tyre.
Yes, they do, and it sort of puts him in the middle ground. Obviously, being at the end of the train, he decided to go different to the other three, and sort of put him in the middle between the Paresis, Patel, Partington battle and the Stefanko Evnov Manasakis train. So he's actually put himself in a bit of clean air come the next round of pit stops, has Peter Briliak. So it will be interesting to see how it works out for the Twister driver. So now Quakel leads from Greco a 9.3 second gap, 9.6 second gap I should say, as Greco comes through the second sector. Because starting off another 1.8 back.
Sorry to cut you off. Maguire and Van der Neet and Hodash just got very, very close together into the first chicane. I think Van der Neet managed to get ahead. He did. He got very, very aggressive down there as all three of them lock up into the second chicane. But it's definitely drivers getting very feisty out there. Although this is the temple of speed, it's not always easy to overtake, and you really do have to kind of force the issue on occasion as Partington puts in a new fastest lap.
It can be very difficult to overtake as well if the person ahead of you is running either high wings or low wings, depending. Because obviously you're going to have an advantage somewhere and a disadvantage somewhere else. Hodas is off. That could have been a big accident on the exit of the Scotty. But if someone's running low wings and you're running high wings, it can be difficult to overtake in a straight line. But then you'll catch up in sector 2, and then vice versa. Obviously, it can be very easy to defend. But then you're going to be under a lot of pressure through the second sector. Here comes Adam Maguire on Danny Van der Neet into the first chicane. Van der Neet's been very good on the brakes here. And is so again and holds on to 17 beautifully. So what's happening at the front? Prix has actually pulled out a 1.2 second gap over Patel now, so he's back outside of the DRS range of the Twister car. Parlington's not very far from the rear wing of the Twister car. He's going to be within DRS range as they come down the front straight, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to do anything about it as they come into the first chicane. Briliak on that prime tyre, sort of just sitting, doing his laps, being consistent.
No, Adam Maguire is DNF. Something happened to Adam Maguire. Let's see. Sorry to undercut you there, but he is DNF, and let's see the replay. What happened to him? Sector 2.
Exit of Lesmo 2.
Lesmo 2 on the exit, AstroTurf. I almost caught it, but then that is a really, really hard hit. Lost the wheel, lost the rear wing, front wing. Definitely race over for Adam Maguire.
There's a lot of debris on next to the track as well, and Greco's just had a very messy couple of Lesmos. I think his tyres are beginning to give up on him, which is not good considering they're the soft tyre. And I think someone may have just collected that debris I was on about.
Stefanko possibly. Greco might have to go to a 3-stop race here and do 2 option stints to the end. And what could be interesting is if the likes of Paris, Patel and Parlington actually catch up to him, because if Greco holds them up, he's just going to play more and more into the favour of Jerome Quakel in terms of the race. It's down to 11.6 between Quakel and Paris now, with Greco in the middle. Let's see what happens. Greco probably another 2 or 3, 4 laps away from his next pit stop. And if we're honest, not too far away for these guys to pit either, probably another 5 or so laps. In saying that, if they can really look after the tyres, they can carry a set of primes from the next stop to the end, which will obviously be the intention from probably about lap 35-ish to the end on a set of primes. That's what they'll want to do. Whereas the thing that Briliak, Stefanko and Ivanov have opened themselves up to, and Menisakis for that fact, is they can run another set of primes and more evenly distribute their tyre wear, rather than having a stint on the super soft and then a very long stint on the prime, which may prove costly come the end of the race.
Yeah, it can be more beneficial to run 2 sets of the prime tyre, and you can push them that little bit more, as you said, spreading the wear, as Paresis is now very, very close to Greco. He's right up behind him. DRS will be open. He's going to have a look at the inside. He should be able to get this move done, and he needs to get this move done.
Parlington in the background got Patel as well.
Well, they're 2 crucial moves, because Paresis has been gaining on Quakel by about 0.6 of a second a lap. That last lap he was held up a tiny bit, but now he can really charge, and he needs to. I mean, if he's running, let's see, he could possibly pit from any time now to put the hard tyre on, but he's going to want to take these super soft tyres as long as they'll go with still giving him the better lap times, and then really push those the prime tyres at the end. But Greco, I think he's soon going to be coming under pressure from Partington, or he will be pitting within the next lap.
As they go past half an LFR car on the exit of Lesmo 2, Greco got 15 laps, so he shouldn't be too far. The car being lighter, he'll probably be able to eke out a couple of extra laps on this set compared to the first set he had on at the start, which will get him to about lap 31, 32, but he still surely won't be able to get to the end and a set of super softs from there. So he'll probably have to go to a 3-stop strategy and run 2 prime stints if that's the situation, but he is staying out, he is sticking with these sets of primes for now.
He is Martin Hodas and Danny Van Der Neet. They're having one hell of a battle. They've been side by side for about 5 corners.
Here comes Partington. Oh, Greco very late on the brakes. That denies Partington third place for now. But that Brem GP car's going to have so much more grip. How long could Greco hold on to him for? As they come through Curva Grande into the second chicane. Here comes Mike again on the inside of Greco. Oh, Greco, it's gonna. Oh, there's contact. And here comes Patel. Patel's gonna take 4th. Or is he? They're side by side as they come into Lesmo 1. And Patel trying to drive Partington out of road and does take 4th position in the end.
That was extremely close to disaster there. I think Partington, he's got to get rid of those tyres. Well, I say he's got to get rid of those tyres. He has, but he can't afford to unless he's going to do 2 super soft stints.
Do you mean Greco?
Yes, I do mean Greco. My apologies.
I was going to say, as Partington trying to distract Patel. What this is doing actually, as long as these guys fight and are held up behind David Greco, is it's bringing Petabrilliac back into this battle. As now here they come again down the front straight. Here comes Partington to the outside Patel, but Patel's going to look to the inside of Greco, and is he going to get it done? No, he's not. And now Partington's going to get the run on Patel as they almost make contact as Patel gets a little unstable on the exit. But Patel's back down to 5th, Partington up to 4th. And Greco somehow still 3rd as here comes Partington again. But he's not going to be able to make it stick.
And now Patel's going to have the better run on at Partington. That was a great bit of driving by Partington there. He could see what was happening ahead of him and he just set himself up to get the best of exits. Managed to get himself up to 4th, but Patel's not going to want to take that too lightly, really. He's going to want to get that position back as quickly as he can.
Well, look in the background though, here comes Petabrilliac. He was 3-4 seconds off this group about 2 laps ago, but now he's almost within DRS range. In fact, he is within DRS range of his teammate Mohammed Patel just up the road. As these guys really need to drop Patel. It's infecting their race so much. They're 4 seconds behind Paresis now. He's only 9 seconds. He's continuing his charge up to the back of Jerome Crakel. Oh, big sideways move for Greco in the middle of Parabolica's. Partington's gonna go for the inside, and surely he'll have him this time. Actually, here comes Patel. Patel's gonna go for the 2 of them. Patel's gonna go. He's already got Greco, and he's gonna go for Partington as well in the first chicane. Gotta give each other room, guys. He's got the better traction. Looks like Partington's got the better traction, and for now we'll hold on to 3rd. So now, as Patel sort of paints the...
Oh, you saw in the
Brilliant,
background there,
brilliant.
brilliant. He was almost, well, he was totally crossed up there, trying to make sure he didn't hit the back of Partington. Stefanko's just crossed that chicane as well. But very interesting battle here. I think Brilliant's just been woken up a little bit.
Sorry, we just lost Danny Van Den Eek, but as you're saying, Dave, a very interesting race, and almost Brilliant going into the back of David Greco. That is, he's not going to be close enough. The Patel-Partington battle sort of settled down now for P3 momentarily. Paresis is flying. Paresis is absolutely flying. It's down to 7.9 seconds now.
And Quakel is into the pits.
So
Just watch
right on schedule for another set of primes to the end of the race as Paresis goes to the lead.
I just watched back the DNF of Danny van der Niet. It appeared that he had some sort of issue because coming to the second chicane he just locked his brakes and pressed escape. I don't know. Pretty strange, but Quakel coming out now.
Yeah, Quakel's not come out in the best of positions. He's in that battle for what is now 6th with Stefanko, Ivanov and Manasakis. He's come out right in the middle of it behind Ivanov and ahead of Manasakis, depending on how much quicker he is, because obviously these guys around him also had the prime tyre on, but Quakel's are obviously a lot fresher. But this could affect his race big time.
While all that was going on as well, Petr Breliak managed to make a pass on David Greco, so he's now up to 4th place, and considering that he's only 2 seconds behind Patel and he's on the harder compound tyre, he could be looking good for the final stint of this race.
He definitely could, and as I said before, he's opened himself up to depending on how long he can get out of those prime tyres. He can either go for another set of primes or another set of super softs. So he's really opened up his own strategy here. It could end up snatching a 2nd or a 3rd place as a result.
He definitely could. Greco has had to continue on because he knows he can't make it to the end on the super soft tyre, but that now means that Stefanko in 6th place, he's catching Greco very, very quickly as well. 4-second gap between them, and that gap is going to come down rapidly because Greco is really starting to struggle on his tyres.
And Greco looking racy on Ivanov, but Manasakis looked pretty racy in the first chicane, but he's dropped back a little bit now as Quakel starting to apply the blowtorch to the back of Ivanov's Aventa car as they come through Lesmo 1 now, and now into Lesmo 2. He'll have DRS as they come across the line right there, and Ivanov does not, and he's going to put it in the middle of the road as they go under the blanking. Quakel to the inside, and we'll get the move done into Escardi up to 7th place for the championship leader.
Yep. Good move there from Jerome Quakel. And of course, he wants to be moving up the field now, getting rid of all these guys.
Greco does now pit. I was half hoping that Paresis was going to pit that lap as well, but he hasn't done. But Greco has now decided to change those tyres.
And it's a set of super softs, so he thinks he can get a set of super softs 18 laps.
I'm not sure that's
brave.
Doable. Well, it's doable.
That's brave. Well, we'll see what happens.
Well, I think one way to look at it is Jim Paresis is out on track. He's still not ran the soft tyre yet, and like I say, I was expecting him to pit the lap he's just done to put the soft tyres on because he'd be able to really push them, but he's decided against it. 18 laps out of the super softs, that's going to be even.
Paresis last lap still did a 25.4, and actually Parlington took 9/10 out of him last lap around. And Parlington, well, actually last lap was only 1,000th of his best lap of the race. So obviously there's still a lot of life in the super softs on that Prem GP car. Not so much in the Twister car behind him in the form of Mohammed Patel or the VB Madcape car of Jim Paris is ahead. Will he pit? No, he won't.
Watching
Where will
David
he?
Greco at the moment.
Oh,
He's on a charge with John
yeah.
Eric Saxon.
Well, he's got to look after those tyres though as well. So there's Jerome Quakel, who's on the back of Martin Stefranco at the moment as they come down the front straight into the first chicane.
Sorry to interrupt. Breliak, I think it may have been, has just had an absolute nightmare at the first chicane.
What happened?
Cut totally straight across it. I think he may have locked his brakes, brake late, very nearly collected Patel, I think it was. Either that or it was Patel that did it, nearly collecting Partington.
Yeah, I think it's Patel. Let's see what he did. Patel coming to turn 1. Here we go. Braking right at the 120 mark, and yeah, he just doesn't mind steering in. Let's go straight on. I think he didn't like the view of the chicane. No, I don't know. He probably just on pretty worn tires already. Wanted to save them and not lock up.
Speaking of worn tires, Paris has really worn his. He lost 1.5 seconds to Partington last lap around. He's lost 4 tenths already. This time around he's pitting in. Okay, this is it then. This always, and Partington's in. Patel is in. Briliak will stay out obviously and resume the race lead. All three of these guys will go onto the prime and want to run them to the end from here.
It's going to be close in the pit lane. Patel just in front there of Mark Partington, and they all come back in the same order they went in.
Oh, that's Kostadinov. He's sort of really nicely positioned in between Paris's and Partington, so he's not really disturbing anyone's race at this stage. I think Partington and Patel lost a little bit of time in the pit stops, having to drive around each other in reference to Paris's. But do we have a gap? We've got it's 9 seconds between Quakel and Paris's, and Paris's tyres are, how much younger are they? They're
4 laps.
I thought it was more towards 5 or 6 because
I think this is the 5th lap for Quakel on this particular set of tyres.
Yeah, you're right there, Dave. So yeah, 5 laps difference in terms of the age of the tyre. So we'll see if 5 laps ends up equaling 9 seconds come the end of the Grand Prix as Brilag continues on from Quakel, from Stefanko, from Menesakis. Good return for George Menesakis. He missed out on as Stefanko pits for another set of primes, I would be assuming. But as I was saying, good return for George Menesakis. He missed out in the last couple of races, been away. He's wasn't even in Greece actually. Was away, but he's back in Greece now, back home, back racing, and he's had a good return.
Yep, he definitely has. I've just been having a look at some stint times, and I know myself and Felix at the last race at Hungary, we were talking about drivers' consistency, and I was looking at Quakel's consistency on that first stint on the soft tyre, and it is incredible, to be honest. If he can keep that pace up, it's going to be difficult for Paris's to catch him, but Paris's has got the benefit of just being able to really take everything this set of tyres have got and see if he's able to catch.
Well, we'll get a representative lap time from Paris's this time around. So far this lap, they've been equal in the first sector, and Quakel was a tenth quicker in the middle sector, so Paris is obviously not doing enough. I think at this point, I know there's still 15 laps to go, but I think it's Quakel's race to lose as Briliak pits. So will this be for? It wouldn't surprise me if he actually puts the super soft on, does Peter Briliak, and that's exactly what he does. And he'll come out. Where will he come out? He's going to be close with Greco. Actually, no, it's not going to be close at all. I thought Brillac still had a bit more of the pit lane to cover than he did. So he's come out not too far behind Patel, who's not too far, who's very close to Partington, who's very close to the back of Kostadinov. So this could be interesting, as Kostadinov's on older prime tyres than these two cars behind him. So we'll see what happens as they come through Lesme 1 now. So now, Partington will have DRS, as will Patel on Kostadinov coming down into the Esco chicane. They're not going to be close enough, so I'll have to wait until the front start finish straight and into the first chicane if Kostadinov, who's actually not running a bad pace in these older prime tyres, can hold on.
We've had a couple of comments come in on YouTube. A few people saying that Paresis will be able to go 1 second quicker as Manasakis dives into the pit lane. And we've also got someone saying Prieto for glory, and that'll be because he has been popping in purple lap times, I think. Yes, he has.
Here comes Parrington, and here comes Patel. Parrington's got it done. Will Patel, get it done on Kostadinov.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he will. Patel, with the fresh tyres, had way more traction on the exit, and that's critical in his race for third.
Yeah, Kostadinov there losing 2 spots in 1 corner. Schmidt in the pits, I believe I saw him come in just a lap or 2 ago. Or is that just me being wrong? No, I think he came in a lap 38 as well. So he might have had a stop-go penalty or a drive-through penalty.
No, it looks like that's his first stop since lap 23.
Oh, okay, that's my bad. Clicking on the wrong guy in the live timing. So yeah, you're right.
So he comes out in 14th in clear air, and I think it's the first time Lucas Smith's had clear air all race. He seems to be pretty busy so far in this Grand Prix. So what's the gap at the front? Crakel did a 1 minute 24.8 last lap around. Paresis at 24.7. The gap's down to 7.2 seconds now. That's only a tenth in the last lap. That's not going to be enough for Jim Paresis if he wants to win this race. Actually, Parrington just behind him just set the fastest lap of the race with a 24.0, and I was wrong. My live timing had an update. It was actually a 24.5.
He did.
Paresis.
Yeah, well, Partington did have the fastest lap with the 24.1, I think it was, but Briliac's just stolen it off him.
No, Partington's done a 24.0. That last lap he did a 24.0, so he went faster again.
Yep.
Good old technology with the live timing.
Yeah, I know. So it's let both of us down in the space of about 1 minute. So what's happening? Paresis probably isn't making the inroads he really needs on Crakel. He's actually lost 0.3 so far this lap, which isn't the way it should be going. You'd rather have gained 0.3 rather than lost 0.3. So he needs to find speed from somewhere, or he needs Crakel's tyres to go off so he can start putting in the lap times. See what it is. Crakel did another 24.8. The uber consistency, insane that uber consistency from Jim Paresis as well, as he does the 24.5 and takes another 0.3 out of the race leader. It's down to just under 7 seconds now. As Parlington looked like he had a little bit of a moment, but didn't. Never mind.
However, is it going to be enough for Jim Paresis if he catches up with like 3/10?
Greco.
Greco.
Who's that?
He's put Stefanko off. And now here comes Ivanov. Ivanov's going to have a go here. Coming through Curva Grande. He's going to be... Well, actually, will he have the grip? Because Greco's on the super soft and he doesn't. So Greco will hold on 6th for now.
Yeah, wow, let's see in the replay. I missed that totally. sorry for that. Greco and Stefanko. Stefanko actually attacking on Greco, going up the inside in turn 1. Then Greco is steering in, and Stefanko just make a little bit of contact on the exit, and Stefanko on the gravel then. And then it's indeed Ivanov attacking.
So that settled down. It wouldn't surprise me. Greco starts to drive away from these guys on those super soft tyres. You can't drive them you can't push them too hard though, because he's got to try and make them to the end if that's what he is doing, which I'm assuming he is. So.
And what was it? 18 laps we said that he needed out of them.
18 laps on a set of super softs. So if he can do that, that's impressive.
I doubt it.
So another 4 tenths from Paresis. It's down to 6.5 now at the head of the field, and he's bringing Partington and Patel with him, because Quakel did a 24.9, Paresis a 24.5, Partington a 24.3, and Patel a 24.4. So they're all coming. We're going to have a 4-car fight for the lead with about 2 laps to go. That's my prediction anyway.
Yeah, well, these guys always seem to find something to battle for in the last couple of laps. They never make it easy for us.
Well, Patel and Parrington have been racing for third the entire way, the entire race, and they're still not even a second apart. In fact, they're half a second apart. So, Patel, too many P's, I tell you. If Partington, freaking hell. See, too many P's, and I'm too tired to do this really. If Patel can stay close enough out Parabolica, we'll see if he can make a move into the first chicane. But he's sort of he's not really close enough. He's sort of just sitting there at the moment behind Patel. Maybe give up.
Maybe he's just saving up.
Well,
maybe he's saving some boost. That could be one thing. I mean, if he's not close enough to overtake into turn 1, save some boost and then really punch it for 1 lap and try and get past them.
Yep.
Yeah, or his tyres. He may just be saving his tyres a bit. Because in saying that, they got the same. All 3 of these guys, Paresis, Partington, and Patel, all have the same tyre life, so they should all be good to go to the end. What was last time? It was only 3 tenths in terms of lap time between Paresis and Quakel at the head of the field, down to 6.2 now. It's not enough. Paresis needs more than this if he wants to win this race.
Well, we've got what, 7? It'll be 7 laps remaining in 1 corner's time. So really, he needs to be gaining at near a second a lap to give himself that window of opportunity to overtake. Because one thing we've seen in this race is, yes, you can get close to a guy, but getting close enough to have a decent exit out of a corner to attack using the DRS, it can take a little bit of time. Well,
he's doing a bit more now, because he just did his personal best lap of the race with a 24.3. The gap down to 5.6 at the head of the field with so 45 completed, so 8 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And
so I'm going to cut you off. Victor Ivanov going for a move on Greco, gets ahead of him. Greco's giving him a bit of a nudge into turn 1. The 2 cars behind getting close, but these 2 still side by side. It's going to become a 4-way battle now, heading up to the second chicane as Ivanov just manages to survive that. Greco now coming under pressure from Martin Stefanko. Is he going to go aggressive? I don't think so. Greco is though. Greco is. Is it going to work? It's not.
No,
he's not.
He tried just distracting Ivanov by throwing his car over in his mirrors. It didn't quite work though. Ivanov, very professional, and George Manasakis at this stage, he wasn't really on this train before, but he's all over it now. He would be rubbing his hands together with joy seeing all these 3 racing the way they are.
And not only that, I mean, the way that they are racing, it's going to be hurting their tyres as well. As we're into the last handful of laps, they've got nothing left to lose. If they want the points, they're going to have to go for it. Oh, Greco, big sideways, just manages to save it. He'll be glad that bit of tarmac is there and it's not grass or gravel.
Yeah, because if that was grass or gravel, that would be race over for the NetRex driver as they come out
I think
of Parabolica.
Stefanko may have Greco here, but Manasakis is close to Stefanko as well. This could be a three-way fight down into turn 1. Stefanko, is he going to go for it?
All three of them have DRS. Here comes Stefanko to the inside of Greco. Will he get...
Oh, they
no!
make contact.
Stefanko's around. Stefanko's around. Oh. Was there enough room? Did Greco leave enough room?
I'm just gonna watch back. Martin Stefanko going for the inside. Greco not really defending the inside line there, but then just cuts him off when steering in. Yeah, very unfortunate there for Martin Stefanko.
I think you gotta call that a racing incident, to be honest. I think Stefanko was going in hot. Greco left him 1.01 car widths to play with, and they found each other on the apex of the first corner.
Yeah.
So
the gap up at the front, it's stabilised at 5.5 seconds.
And the reason for that is that Greco just put in his personal best lap of the race with the 24.6, and Prix only took a 10th out in that last lap around. It's 5 seconds. I don't reckon Prix is going to get there.
Well, if he wants to do that, he needs about a second a lap now. I mean, as I've said previous race in Hungary, getting to the back of somebody is one thing, but getting past is another. Of course, at Monza it is a little bit easier than at the Hungaroring, but still, I think don't think Greco would hand him the place for free. Oh, Guillermo Prieto is spin around 4 times. Let's see what happened to him. Prieto coming into Ascari.
That's his race over for sure, because it's all left rear wheel. It looks like he's...
on the exit, exactly what David Greco had. But for him it didn't pay out so well. And then into the wall, lost a wheel, lost front wing. Definitely race over for him. So
what's happening? This battle for 5th is still definitely... 6th place, sorry, not 5th. Is still definitely on, because you got
it might not be... Greco! That would be nice to have a slow motion replay, because I think he's just bit his seat in half. That's
the second major moment Greco's had at the Ascari chicane in a handful of laps. So
I think he's about to lose a position, but this is what we were on about earlier. 18 laps on the super soft tyres. Oh, we don't know. And there's the telltale signs of I don't think it's going to be possible, because that's what happens. You can be absolutely fine, and you get somewhere like Ascari, that change of direction, the tyres can't handle it, as Manasakis gets very, very close to him. But we'll see if Felix has got a replay of that moment then.
Yeah, gonna try and see if I can grab it. Wait a little bit more for Manasakis. Maybe he's going to try something here. I think he is.
He's going to the outside. He's going to the inside of Greco, and Greco's almost drilled the back of Ivanov into the second chicane. That was very close there. And hopefully we'll actually get a breath in, because Greco at the front is just controlling the pace now. He matched Jim Paresis the last time around, and actually is starting to pull away again from Paresis. So uber consistency, uber tire saving from Jerome Greco, and he looks very much in control. I tell you who is in control of 6th place is Victor Ivanov, because he's got Greco all over him.
Sadly won't be able to get that replay anymore. Sorry, Dave.
That's alright, no problem. I mean, one thing we can say is there's never been a dull moment in this race, and I still don't think it's finished down in 6th, 7th and 8th. I think that's still going to carry on.
Yeah, for sure. And 4th and 3rd maybe as well.
Manasakis here is going to have a run on Greco. He's going to go to the inside of the NetRex car into the first chicane. Will he be able to brake late enough? Greco almost hitting the back, getting sideways, tagging Manasakis. A lot happened just then. Almost all 3 cars ending up in an accident. As here comes Manasakis now around Curva Grande into the second chicane on the inside. Will he be able to? No, he won't. Greco holding the outside really nicely, but he's got a bad exit. Manasakis looking. No, not quite into Lesmo 1.
Okay, just so you guys know, you've got Jim Paresis, Partington, Patel, less than 9/10 of a second between the three of them.
Okay, this is gonna get interesting now for PT. It's not about the win, Crackle.
It's very good exit out of Lesmo 2. He's gonna throw it alongside here at Ascari, and he's passed. Wow, what an exit!
Great move.
There from,
Great move by George Manasakis there.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen for second? They're all sort of waiting to see what the other one does with 3 laps to go now. As Partington's not quite close enough to Paresis. Patel can't get close enough now because Partington's got DRS from Paresis. In saying that, Patel's got a good run. Patel's got a good run here into the second chicane, but he's not going to be close enough.
Paresis has gone from hunting Quakel to being hunted. His mindset will have changed now, and this could affect his lap times, his driving, hitting apexes, the works as Partington runs a little bit wide. But yeah, this is a very interesting battle, not just because what we see on the track, but what we're going through the drivers' minds. Because like I say, Paresis, he's gone from looking forward to hang on a minute, I've got to watch out for these guys behind me.
Here comes Patel on Partington, but he's not going to be close enough once again. Patel's life is going to be made much harder now that Partington's gained DRS from Paresis, so Patel's got to hope for a mistake or something to try and get third. And this race hasn't really failed to disappoint at all.
It definitely hasn't, and I've just remembered as well, for anyone that wants to vote for the driver of the day, that will be on Facebook this week.
Patel! Through Parabolica, spin around. Oh dear. Let's see if I can get a replay of that. Patel just coming out of there and hitting the curb. Oh wait. Why am I so far back? Let's try again. Here we go, coming to Parabolica. And yeah, he seemed quite okay and then just lost the rear.
Yeah, wow. Just over-rotated.
Maybe he was putting his driver of the day vote in while he was going around the corner. It's not a good idea. It might be available to do on Facebook, but do it when you're not driving.
Well, the screen on the wheel's big enough for you to vote. But that's probably the one thing that Jim Paresis didn't want, because now Partington's going to be 100% focused on the rear wing of that VB Mad Cape car and trying to get past that very same car as they come into the Escada chicane with just over a lap to go. So, can he hold on? Can Paresis hold on? He's Quakel's race to lose for sure now, in case you didn't realise that. But can Paresis hold on for P2? This could be crucial in the championship.
Partington not having the best exit out of Parabolica, but he is gonna try anyway. Boost on, DRS open. Here we go.
Here he comes.
Gonna throw it up the outside. Oh, that top speed of Mike Partington though. He's already passed here into turn 1.
370 kilometers an hour before he hit the brake pedal for the first chicane, and he's stolen second place from Jim Paresis on the final lap.
Wow, great stuff there from Mike Partington. And I don't think Jim Paresis will be able to do anything about it now. Already 5/10 ahead now, Mike Partington.
Oh, George Manasakis has made a mistake at the first chicane. It looks like he went deep, trying to fight Ivanov. Meanwhile, though, coming into the Escada chicane for the final time is your race leader, your championship leader, and almost certainly your championship favourite, Jerome Crakel, pulled off an absolute marvellous strategy, running the two-stop. Strategy that we didn't think would work, didn't think would win, but he's pulled it off. Coming out of Parabolica for the final time, Jerome Crakel will win here at Monza, and Mike Partington has held on to second, or rather a stolen second place for Bram GP to finish in second ahead of Jim Paresis, and third. Peter Bruliak on return will finish in fourth, and Mohamed Patel has recovered from that spin a couple of laps from the finish to finish in 5th. Victor Ivanov will hold on for Aventa's a great result for Aventa for P6. Manasakis is pitting.
Why would he pit
Manasakis
there?
just he just gave away 2 positions.
He did, yeah.
3.
He had a black flag because he went across the first.
Yeah. Ooh, that is very unfortunate for him. I don't know if there is anything about it. Now, at least not, but maybe after the race. But yeah, that.
As a result, it's actually dropped him outside the points.
Yeah.
So actually Greco finished 7th, Kostadinov 8th, Stefanko 9th, Saxon 10th. Good result there for John Eric Saxon, gaining inside the points. Disley 11th, Bifumi 12th, Smith in 13th, Manasakis as unlucky as you can be to end up 14th, Hodas 15th, and Giordano Valeriano running out the finishes in 16th. We also had 7 DNS. We had Proto, Van den Eek, Maguire, Giro, D'Alessandro, Liza, and Sadler all not finishing the race today. Can we go to a quick ad break, Felix?
Sorry?
Ad break just while the drivers come in and wait for an interview.
Yeah, I don't know if there is anyone. Don't see someone coming, so probably most guys will just be relaxing now. Of course, 53 laps here is quite exhausting.
Well, it's also the fastest race of the season.
Yeah.
At 1 hour and 16 minutes. I don't think we get anywhere close. Anywhere.
What is Quico doing? Quico's going for a donut. Here we go. Quico's certainly happy with his win here.
Well,
so it should be as well. I mean, Hungary was a race that I think left him a little bit frustrated. So coming to Monza and putting on the display that he has is fully deserved of these donuts, as long as he doesn't rip the rear wing off while he doesn't.
It's fully deserved because, I mean, he ran the unpopular strategy running the 2-stop. We saw most of the guys run the 3-stop, and he pulled it off and beautifully. It ended up winning, not just like winning, but by a good 6.8 second margin as well. So
yeah, I mean,
when you
absolutely
controlled it, absolutely controlled the entire race.
The key part of it as well was that phase where he went longer on the super soft tyre and lost positions. That was a phase of the race where it was okay, he's lost those positions, but he had to ignore that, he had to forget that, and they go for the long game, whereas everyone else was more, I'm going to go with the fastest tyre and try and go for it that way, and unfortunately it's not worked, as Quico has shown.
Yeah.
I think the other part of the race that was key for Quaker was the fact that when he came out, Stefanko and all that didn't get past him when he was on his first set of prides and they were still on super soft. So I think that was pretty important. Anyway, guys, it's that time of day, night, morning, wherever you are. Driver of the race. Your personal driver of the race.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be Quico though. I really think so. I mean, he definitely showed the back of his car to everybody behind him, and just with that alternate strategy, showing it how it is done. But yeah, there is, as we have mentioned now for a couple of times on the Facebook page, you can vote for the driver of the day, and I recommend you all to do so. And yeah, I think it's about time to close it off for today. Anything to add, guys?
Oh, Dave, who was your driver of the race?
Well, for me, yeah, you got to say Quakel. Pole win, fantastic. But at the same time, well done to all of the drivers. Fantastic, entertaining race to watch there from start to finish. So yeah, Quakel, driver of the day. The only thing I would probably else want to know is when the next race weekend is.
I can get that very quickly, because I
There.
don't know. While I am getting that, I will just mention that my driver of the race. I'm sorry, but it has to be a unanimous decision. Craig, as I mentioned, going for the unpopular strategy, making it work, just unbelievable race.
Well,
The Ray ran it and everything was just absolutely perfect. Well, sadly, we got to go.
Yeah. Too
But you
bad.
can catch us. Everyone at home can catch us in 2 weeks' time on the October 8th and 9th, where we'll be coming from Singapore for the night race, which shall be pretty interesting on a very tight street circuit. Until then, from myself, Dave Paling, and Felix van Delft, it's goodbye for now.